Annette Young, the BBC, playing the national anthem after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. This is a moment, of course, that's been planned for a long, long time.
Indeed, and Benedict referred to it. The name of the plan is London Bridge, and according to a number of British media outlets in the last few years, have leaked details of this plan. Now, the first thing, of course, is the fact she passed away at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. According to the people who were responsible for this plan, that was going to make it logistically difficult. There is some sort of protocol involved, I understand, where she will stay at Holyrood House in Edinburgh for 24 hours. Having said that, this was released back in 2017, 5 years ago. That may have indeed changed. And then the plan was that her body then be taken back to England by train, and it make its way down the eastern side of the UK towards London, where she'll lie in state at Buckingham Palace. The idea is that there'd be about 10 days between that point and when the funeral is actually held, or indeed it could be 10 days from today onwards. And of course, there's a lot of planning that kicks in at this point in terms of visiting heads of state. But the most likely scenario is that the funeral service will be held at Westminster Cathedral, and then her body will be taken back to Windsor, and there'll be another smaller, more private service at King George's Chapel at Windsor.
Richard Fitzwilliams, fair to say this will be the biggest funeral the UK has seen since the death of her first Prime Minister, Winston Churchill. Will it even be bigger, perhaps?
I think that it could be summed up in the phrase, she will get everything, because someone who's led a life as she has as head of state for the length of time and has the reputation she has, I mean, very, very definitely there will be the biggest gathering, if not, it might surpass it, rather than Churchill's funeral. There will be probably very memorable moments. I remember the Churchill's funeral, the cranes dipped briefly in salute when his body was being borne on the Thames in the Havingor, the boat. And I think that on this occasion, it has happened at Balmoral, so there's going to be, as was mentioned, lying at Holyrood House, the bodyguard of archers will be guarding her, I think, and subsequently I think she will be received at St Giles Cathedral, then to travel south by train, and then lying in state, which of course is a feature of some of these occasions, but this will be something completely unique. The fact that there's probably no one else since Victoria and perhaps the first Elizabeth, who gave their names to an age, who's encapsulated the character of Britain, a feeling for the country, a feeling also for its traditions, a deeply religious person, but someone also with a sense of duty, and someone who was a glorious mimic, an equestrian expert. Benedict mentioned the delights of Paddington and the amazing James Bond Olympic incident. All these things together make this a very, very deeply emotional moment, because the Queen had such tremendous heart, and as Britain has in so many ways over its history over the centuries, this was, I think, without any doubt, one of the most significant monarchs ever to reign. And you're going back over 1,000 years, and you're looking at someone who really was tremendously special, and being also no mean feat being queen with under the glare of such ferocious media scrutiny, and someone who, again, I think that we'll find in the coming days and weeks will live on in the hearts and minds of her people.